And we should do this and stream, and we could do this any minute now. And we're live. Just jumping into the conference room here in Tartu. But actually, we're in the library. We're in the university library in Tartu, right?
Yes, you're right.
I'm kind of orient myself where I am. It's been a crazy day of planes, trains, and automobiles. But anyway, we're live now, and as people come online, I know we're a bit late. I've been texting people online saying, we're getting online. We'll be there. We'll be there. We'll go live on. There we go. We are now live on Instagram as well. So we're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And I'm here, Donnie here, Wednesday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Innovation Fika. Later, 1 hour later, and 1 hour and 14 minutes later. Not your fault. Here, live from Tartu, and I'm attending two conferences actually. It's the deepest conference here today, and then that kicks off the Startup Day Festival, which is 2 days here in Tartu, and actually Tartu Startup.
Yes, exactly.
I'm from the west coast of Sweden, so we love those kinds of jokes. And I'm here with come in. Here's here with Mart Maasik. Episode 100. Look at that. Hey, Annie, good to see you. We can actually. We also can do. There we go. We have our first live person. Comment. Add who you are in the comments and start networking. This is an online thing. And I love doing these things live because we get the comments and we get the questions as well for our experts, like this guy. I'll start the show by saying, hi, everyone. My name is Donnie. Every Wednesday, 2:30 p.m., I do this show, Innovation Fika, 2:30 p.m. Swedish. So I'm 1 hour late in the day, accommodating so I can get Mart in on the show here today. And I will start it by saying, or asking my guests the same thing I ask everyone. So Mart, who are you and what do you do?
Great, thank you. My name is Mart, and I am an entrepreneur, corporate innovator, and now I think more close to the academical world. So having 30 years in the banking sector and being also the founder of the companies and also co-founder of the largest entrepreneurship competition in Estonia, so-called Estonian Dragons 10. Yeah. We have the 17 seasons we have up and running. 17
seasons? Yes, wow, that's impressive.
We have seen more than 3,000 companies in the early stage and helping them to succeed. And yes, I think 3-4 years ago, I started to understand that, okay, simple tech opportunities are becoming running out of those cases. Yeah. And I would like to learn more academical innovation and the entrepreneurship side as well. Yeah. And then I put my 20 years of banking job aside. And then I have joined to the setting up the UniTartu Ventures, which is asset management investment company coming in next to the University of Tartu and helping to build up self-sustainable model for helping spinning out and also reinvesting back capital into companies.
Okay, so it's an investment body that is sort of parked beside the university.
Exactly, you're right.
To help them spin out ideas out of the university.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that's my daily
And that's,
business.
what do you say, 3 years now in the making? How long?
Now I think up and running 2 years. So
2 years.
Yes.
Okay, cool, wonderful. And the topic of today is, of course, but the topic of today is DeepTech. We've said, the title of this was State of DeepTech in the Nordics and Baltics. We'll call everything the Nordics. Nordic, the northern region. I mean, we have this little lake between us, but it's like we can row over and say hi on a Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
But let's start, super basic. DeepTech. How do we define? Because I feel that's something that people are just throwing around. We're going for DeepTech now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
When we're talking about DeepTech, in your perception, in your words, Mark, what is DeepTech?
I think it's good to see that how this kind of investment community. This is kind of good kind of community to understand what are the new hypes that are going to be invented. And actually now the last few quarters, number one investment category from VC point of view is the DeepTech. Yeah. So which is quite surprising. But in my definition point of view, this is like the company that is impossible to replicate with the two-man and dog with the 2 years. Yeah. So there has to be some deeper understanding, some foundation created behind it. But it's really the beginning of the journey. So it's how we apply the technology to the market. So that's another side of it. So sometimes researchers' point of view can think that the research output is the end of the journey, but for the entrepreneurship point of view, it's the beginning of the journey. Yeah. So it's kind of putting those two together. So this is my definition of the DeepTech.
Yeah. In Sweden, we're struggling as well with the definition of DeepTech because there's a lot of government calls now and government grants coming out for DeepTech support, and it's it's kind of researchy, kind of more difficult stuff. It's still a kind of a vague definition.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, I think, from my point of view, I think they're very interesting to see, because you said something really interesting there, because it was like the meeting point for when the end point of the research, as in the result, meets the starting point of the entrepreneurship, as getting the business going. I think it's so interesting because a lot of people that talk about DeepTech is people who are replicating the business part on previously developed technology. I mean, so it's the same technology in basic, it's just they're replicating the business part. But if we're looking at DeepTech startups, then it's more of somebody who has the foundational technology and they're building something on that. You're
investing more, it takes more time. And of course, your cost structure is going to be different. But once you're succeeding, your competitive advantages are also different ones. So,
of course.
So this kind of the structure is the kind of design point of view. You're putting your effort on different ways, and maybe another aspect is as well is that how you are building the coalitions and collaborations.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of sometimes building up like the small part of it. That's kind of the easy to say that you can build up the small case for. Company, and you can be isolated manner operate, but the DeepTech, it means that there have to be surrounding the infrastructure for you as well to succeed.
Yeah. Another question then for you, I'm just I'm bouncing this off my experience back from Sweden as well, is that it's so easy to say, oh no, let's switch from the light tech digital problems startups and let's do some DeepTech stuff instead. As if it was just, to change, but it's kind of a bit more than that goes into getting DeepTech startups out there, right?
Yeah, you cannot fake it, DeepTech.
No.
So yeah, exactly. I think this is really the roots needs to be there, and I think it's different. I think only thing that you can convert from the tech company creation to the DeepTech company creation is the entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah.
I think this is universal.
Yeah.
But I think all the kind of the product development, about kind of the market understanding, about what is the problem, how you're solving it, and what is iterations. I think this is radically different ones compared to traditional tech company.
We have, in a fast-paced tech company, the iterations can be days, weeks, and here we're talking months, years, decades. We're talking long term, and I think one of the biggest, not problems, wrong word, I don't like using that word, but an issue then is getting people's mindset to shift to the longer time perspectives in the longer cycles. It's not a 24-hour hackathon, come up with an idea, raise some money, run, and then we do IPO next year. That's not the same cycle that we've been seeing in the startup world the last sort of 15 years. These are longer cycles. It's like we should learn from the pharma 10, 15 years of the development cycles.
Yeah, I think the cycles, the iterations, yes, definitely it's longer. But I also see that nowadays, I think thanks to the latest technologies, I think it's becoming, the cycles also becoming in DeepTech more faster.
Yeah,
it's increasing, and then also cost coming down. So the pharma is from that point of view kind of like a complicated case that there is a high barrier to enter. So you never can be kind of competitive as a spin out yourself with the big pharmas. So that is impossible to reach on that side.
That's true.
But I think this is kind of becoming better. I think the balance, and I think that empowering the small DeepTech teams, they can do much more nowadays already. Thanks to the lot of AI. You can digitally iterate many things synthetically. So I think this is another the piece which is helping it bit of closer. But yeah, I think that the sentiment or expectation management point of view, I fully agree that you can't expect the quick feedback loops and the market reaction. And even I think that in most cases, DeepTech clients are corporate and business-to-business clients.
Yeah.
So it's not a private consumer related, which is really instant feedback that you will get out from it. So even you don't know who is their client and who is the purchase decision maker and what are the criteria. And you have to, everything needs to be carved out step by step, actually, who is your client and what is your market at the moment. So that's another, developing technology, but also discovering market in a much slower manner.
Yeah. But how do you go about that? If you're looking at a DeepTech startup with a longer time cycle, and we might be talking about, this will be on the market functioning in 3 to 5 years or something.
Yep.
How do you even start imagining the market, what it looks like in, 5 years ago, the world looked a lot different than it does today. And we don't know what it's going to look like in 5 years. How do you go about that when it comes to, looking in the crystal ball and saying, where are we going to be in, 5 or 10 years? And who are we going to aim for then?
Yeah, I think there is not one single way to say this right path further on, but more what are the prerequisites of the steps, how you are knowing that you are progressing. Mm-hmm. So having some kind of gates on its way that if I pass it this one, then I think I'm there, and next one. So you can predict the principal journeys based on the replication from the previous cases, and you can rely on that kind of thing. And what you can do really to build that type of agility as well inside of it. So when you don't know the market, what could be different alternative applications? So always you have to have this parking lot of different options and ideas, and you probably know not the first case is not the successful case anyway. So but more you do, you will learn. But once I think you're starting to understanding industry, I think you're understanding the client needs. Still, this is the key for it. It's kind of guiding you towards the right direction. And I think sometimes what we are seeing in our teams that they are, and this is quite human, that you try to not, and scientists try to be perfect already. Okay, I know all the answers, but the entrepreneurial mind you don't know. So, and I think being really good in a conversation with their clients, this is the best and most responsive way to get the feedback from the actual needs. And then those market and those companies also, they do their own foresight type of work as well. So they give you some signals, early signals. And when you started to see the pattern, then probably this is direction to go. You don't know so precisely where exactly, but you know the kind of the direction where you're progressing. So you're not going to the wrong direction principally, but over the time you're narrowing down what is actually your value that you create.
Yeah, that's interesting, because it's also interesting how we then apply what would be considered to be a fast-paced mindset, agile thinking, to maybe what we say then a slow-paced sort of tech development. But it's really interesting because if you go back to the core of research, which is kind of trying to figure out the way forward, it's a very, very similar mindset. It's you have some kind of an idea what you're sort of trying to achieve, but you have no idea what you're going to discover, and it's just about doing experiments. And I like working with researchers, because people say to me, the whole researchers, they don't know anything about entrepreneurship. And I said, they know everything about entrepreneurship. It's just framing the words differently, because the way they do experiments is the way we iterate with, learning with our customer journey.
Yeah, and most cases researchers are much more systematic than the entrepreneurs.
Exactly, and they document everything, and they have a book, and they write it out, and they can tell you how it went, which an entrepreneur will go, that didn't feel good. What do you mean didn't feel good? So in that sense, I think we have there is a lot there. That it's just that we have this idea that they aren't entrepreneurial, and they think them. I think it's a kind of a Rosenthal effect as well, is that they don't think that they are, so they aren't. And in other places where they think they are, they are.
Yeah, they always have these choices on the table, always. But yes, you have made it the choice that I will go on the journey, or rather, it's not the option for me. So, but I think what is motivating, this is the key at the end of the day. So, and I think this entrepreneurship nowadays, what I see more and more here in that part of the world, but also rest, I think this spin outs and an entrepreneurial way of putting your research output to the market is the most effective way to reach the impact, actually.
Of course.
So that's the no-brainer from that point of view. So that's the same goal most of researchers do, the research for the society. And then I think this entrepreneurship is like a tool to reach your goal.
Exactly, and that is 100%. An incredible idea that has the potential to create impact will not create it as just being published as a PDF. It has to get out there and be worked with. And as you say, entrepreneurship is an incredible tool to get it into the market and get it. But okay, so then the market then, because I feel that we have historically, still maybe kind of, but historically I feel that we've been, we haven't had the advantage of maybe, the US, they have this huge market on their doorstep, and other big countries like China, they have their own home market. They don't even need to care about the rest of the world. But Europe has been very fragmented, all the different countries and all the different, languages and everything like that. So maybe the European home market hasn't been very, very big. How do we make the market opportunity bigger for our coming deep tech startups?
Yeah. I think we have this research point of view. Europe is like the great place to be. So I think definitely the top research is there. So I think this what we haven't had really good in this IP commercialization and I think spinning out and what this kind of IP rights, and Sweden is like a unique case for the world. But still, I think the mindset is there, and it's good evidence that even the researchers having this professional privilege, they're coming to the cutting-edge innovation and they say, okay, please help me. So it means that it's not about only research output challenge. I think it's also the skill set and the mindset next to each other. So what I see here and what is I think maybe this Estonian case opportunity, and even yes, I'm working for the UniTartu Ventures, but we are solving Estonian problem at least, but actually we are solving kind of Nordic problem. So how we're spinning out more systematically. And I think what we haven't had in Estonia, and also this part of a clear pathway from research output to the becoming successful entrepreneur, how you're onboarding investors, how you are attracting team members, how you are building this entrepreneurship spirit. So I think what I've seen more and more now, we have been done it a few years, everyone willing to help each other. But when you don't have like the formula, how to collaborate together, then it's really hard to be effective in that support. So, and I think what if we could kind of like build more systematical framework from the IP transfer from the universities, and also I think thinking about in the way that sometimes we are kind of struggling that the research is made by the public money. It should be for the public good. And that's exactly if you're putting on a shelf this public good and nobody uses it, actually it's the unresponsible activity for the capital what you have captured. So giving out to the people who are willing to bring it market, I think with the more risk mindset. I think this is the part for the beginning of it. And when we're building some systematical journey, and then this Innovation Readiness Index, and the framework is a really good example of the tools, how we can talk the same language and measure the progress in the same way, and also bring the more talents. I think Estonia is great from the tech ecosystem point of view. We have like the number one globally per capita startups, unicorns, whatever. But I think we are really at the beginning of the DeepTech point of view. And of course, we can transfer this entrepreneurship mindset to the DeepTech companies. But again, the society in that deep ecosystem should help in the same way as Estonian tech economy kind of community help each other. So we have to build that type of like closed loop and willingness to help each other, because we're competing globally. The capital point of view, from that point of view, and when we do together more, I think we can be more competitive from that point of view and more attractive for others as well.
Tune in tomorrow with the Startup Day Festival for a workshop. Come here to Tartu and be part of the workshop tomorrow with a KDH Innovation Readiness Level and everything else happening in Tartu tomorrow. That was a word from the sponsors there. But collaboration then. We heard that in the panel before as well. Collaboration. How do we create a truly pan-Nordic collaboration? I mean, we have all of these meetings between universities, and how do we actually get collaboration going? Any ideas there?
I think there are multiple ideas, and I think we have to iterate it further. So I think we have to put our own strengths together. Everyone having like a bit of pieces here and there, and that's starting to do it. And that's the same as an entrepreneurship piece, that the more you do, better it becomes. So I think this is the part of it. But yes, I think definitely in Estonia, I think we have a lot of great, raw material as a research, but I think we are lacking those kind of like chief scientific officers type of profiles or the entrepreneur resident roles who have done it before. We don't have serial deep tech entrepreneurs here, but I think you have in Sweden, in Finland, and I think that is what we can also work together. So I think we should have a common deep tech companies portfolio, and we should analyze commonly that who could be kind of better supporter for each type of cases together. So I think we can consolidate the technologies point of view, and also I think we can syndicate from the benefit point of view. What if we have in a funding point of view the common fund? Sometimes I've been like being also 20 years in the bank, so I think a bit of like bias from that point of view. But still, I think sometimes capital is the good instrument as well to showing the motivation and direction. So and I think this capital common funding as well in the regionally for those early stage companies could help also collaborate in a more systematical manner. So I think this is another part of it. So having the framework and having also capital like the push.
Yeah. I think that also adding to that or seconding that, the power of the good example. If we can start getting some champions and some good examples and say, look what we're doing, this works really well. I mean, that's how when we started KTH Innovation 15 years back, that was the only way we could market ourselves, by proving the point.
Yes.
So we helped researchers, and then they were the ones that you saw on the website, not us, because nobody knew who we were. But you saw somebody like yourself going, yeah, well, I did this, and look, I'm successful, and now I have more money for my research, and it's super good. And by the way, I had help from these people over here, KTH Innovation. And then that was how we built. So I think that the importance of champions cannot be underestimated in any system. But I think we need to build some really good champions examples of pan-Nordic collaboration.
Yes,
success.
Yes, the proof points of it. So yes, absolutely. Yeah, I fully agree that that's of course our job to tell that this is a good idea. But when our proof point and the validation is those examples, definitely this is the portfolio of examples that needs to be there, and then route it back. And we have I think few great cases are like coming as well. So but yes, it takes time, and of course until that we need some type of good hope that we will benefit. But yes, we have to cross the chasm in their point of view. But yes, then we can say that we did it together, and I fully agree. Our role, I think, and I think building up this innovation lab, I think we said that there is one of the teams. They are those ones who are making it happen. So it's not about our side of putting infrastructure. So it's of course we do it, but personal motivation is also. It's great to see those teams succeeding.
Yeah. And that's a message for everyone out there. Don't forget, there's a number of support organizations, pan-Nordic, that is prepared and but working to make this work now. So we're trying to build a Nordic, I'm counting the Baltics now into the Nordics as well. Nordic made, hashtag Nordic made is when I was in Silicon Valley, I worked there for over a year.
Yeah.
We used the hashtag Nordic made. And it was us, the Norwegians, the Finns, the Estonians, everybody was sort of under that hashtag. And for the rest of the world, Nordic is, it's there.
Yeah.
We're the ones that keep on dividing it between, no, I'm not, I'm Swedish, I'm not Norwegian, that kind of thing. So Nordic made, hashtag Nordic made, that's the secret hashtag, not secret, but that's the secret sauce that we need to start, under that umbrella. I think we need to start working a lot more, and also understanding the incredible power we have. Because if you look at how small we are, right? What did we say before? Like 4 million people in the whole region.
Yes.
Which is like a London and a half, sort of, kind of. And the output that these countries have together is, it's amazing. You have the most unicorns per capita, and we have the most multinational companies per capita. And it's such a incredibly efficient engine that if we can get this together, and I think that it's so much about mindset. If we believe that we can do this together, then we'll do it together, and it will work, and it will be, and by Jove, we'll be a big part in fixing the world, because we have it here. We have so much of it here. It's just we need some more examples. We need some more champions. We need to show that we can do it together, and as you said, the hope and the belief in that we can do it. Because we have all the prerequisites, we have everything there, and we have the tech, we have the people. We need a bit more market to actually. We need some more innovation. We need some more innovation pull, and not just innovation push.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's more fun also to make things together.
Of course. With that, dear friends, I will be wrapping up here. Thank you, Mart. Thank you for he still has his microphone from the stage that he was on in the conference. Thank you so much, Mart, for being a part of this today ad hoc show. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I know you're out there. We had about 20 people signed up to watch online. And this will be, of course, recorded and put on YouTube. And next week, 2:30 p.m., normal. What is that? UTC +1, I think. Yeah. And see, usually your normal time. Innovation Fika with me, Donny. But for now, we're saying thank you and goodbye to Mr. Maasik. And I hope you have a wonderful couple of days here at Startup Day Festival in Tartu.
Yes, and enjoy the Tartu.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Let's see. We go.